traveler. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Born to be Wild, a Hearthstone podcast, a Wild exclusive Hearthstone podcast, where we like to showcase different members of the community and talk everything wild going on. So I'd like to introduce to you guys the man of the hour, the man that I have on every week, my best friend, Nate Wolf. How the hell are you, Nate?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very, very good. I'm happy. We have a nice long weekend, and I am even more excited to have this very special guest on the show. So, Corbett, James Corbett, Corbett Games, welcome to the show. I'm really excited to have you.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. Really excited to be here. We're going to just talk some wild Hearthstone. But yeah, what's up?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I'll do an absolute terrible job of introducing you, but top 10 legend, wild player, Twitch streamer. You've got a YouTube channel. You write for HS Top Decks. That is quite a wheelhouse you've got there. So very cool.
Yeah, there's a little bit going on. A lot of that's very recent. So, been diving into stuff, and no, it's been fun.
And I guess for those of us, or those people tuning in, you're coming to us from Australia, so we're all in different time zones here. I'm in Pacific, Craig is in Canada, you're in Australia, so we have an international time traveling show today, and it's pretty cool, the power of technology. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I don't know, I'm geeking out a little bit. I don't know now that I mean, Craig and I hit Wild Legend way back when, before the ladder changes, and then haven't done it for a long time. And then the last couple months we've been there, but I don't know how you consistently are in like top 10 legend just with the grind. I mean, it's just incredible. I don't know. How does it feel to get 11 stars each month?
It just sort of becomes a habit, I guess, to be honest. Like, it's the biggest thing. I feel like it's true for most people, is that, that grind is eventually, it just stops feeling like a grind, especially when streaming the game. Kind of just making myself play every day. So yeah, it's not too bad at all. And it's kind of something that you get used to, I think.
Like, yeah. Have you had when was the last time you had a lower finish that you weren't proud of? Like, I don't know, like, you're always seems like you're in the top 10, top 20 type of thing. Like, when was the last kicking the balls for you when it comes to your ladder finish?
I think like right when I picked up streaming, so probably around like September, October last year. I was really trying to find like a balance of, getting used to playing on stream and playing meme decks, and trying to like stream consistently and still hit high ranks can be quite difficult, especially with how people camp the high legends. But yeah, I've gotten a better balance of that, and the last few months have been really good. So yeah.
Nice. And am I correct in saying that you're one of pretty much the person we can thank for Darkest Hour Warlock being a thing as long as it was?
No, I don't think so. I think you got to give Concerned Mom all the credit on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, Big Priest, and Darkest Hour. So if anyone has any complaints about that, or any praise, then yeah, be sure to hit Concerned Mom up. I'm sure he'd love it.
I was gonna say it's his fault. It's his fault for anybody that's ever been mad at Big Priest can blame it on Concerned Mom for sure.
Yeah, Concerned Mom loves winning on turn 4, it seems. Between Barnes and Blood Moon. Yeah, sorry, but for some reason I thought that you were one of the guys that helped refine that deck a lot. But either way, I'm just happy it's gone.
Yeah, agreed.
So how did you get hooked up writing for HS Top Decks?
They had a position open around September last year, where Ruffle had basically become just like too busy, with his stream and everything that he has going on. And he was looking around to try and get someone to take over the wild stuff. And so I just saw the post. A couple of people linked it to me, said they might be interested in having me write for them. And so yeah, I just applied, and just got started like that.
Nice. And I think being like one of the best wild Hearthstone players in the world probably helped. I have to imagine. It's like if if Bill Gates offered to go work at a Best Buy, for instance, I think they'd hire him. I think they'd consider it.
You think?
I
Oh
think
God, it's awesome. But I mean, it's a good resource for us, though. I mean, so
for sure.
It's
And speaking of like one of the best Wild Hearthstone players out there, a lot of people are probably thinking, "Oh, you're being hyperbolic, Craig. Like, where's the proof?" Well, I think we got the proof for you because we've already said all these crazy achievements that Corbett has had, but perhaps the most crazy one that to date is you finishing this tournament in first place. Incredible job. This was Solem's the NA side of it, and you came first. How did that feel?
Yeah, it felt amazing. It really had to though, because in Australia, I'm competing in the NA time zone. So basically, if I'm going to compete in these tournaments, I end up doing back-to-back all-nighters.
Ooh.
So really, it's like I gotta have to do well, otherwise it's not worth it. But I was basically brain dead by the end of it. There's more caffeine than blood in my system. But it ended up working out all right, and I was really happy with the result, obviously.
So
Wow.
I saw that you had something on your Twitter about how you came up with your tournament lineup and how you were recommending others. I think someone had asked you, "Hey, how do you prep for a tournament?" And you posted a couple screenshots or some advice there. But I was wondering for the folks who are watching or listening to this show, if maybe we could chat about that a little bit. And I think there's a handful of us who've been playing in the new Wild Team Hearth Legends kind of weekly tournament series, and just be really interested in that advice.
Yeah, sure. I mean, how in depth are we going here? Because I posted a lot on the Twitter.
Yeah, no, that's true. As much or as little as you want. I mean, I hate to put you on the spot a little bit, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm open to anything.
Yeah, for sure. I know, like for a lot of wild people, this can be something that's very can be a bit daunting and new because there's not like there's a massive wild tournament scene, right? So it can be a big deal. But I think for me, like it basically just comes into like three parts where it's just like one, like make lineups around a certain band. So you guys will know what's popular, what's good. It might be Reno Priest, might be Quest Mage. Just like pick a band and sort of build your lineup around that. So if you ban Quest Mage, you might want to really bring Reno Priest, right? And so I kind of do that with the different potential ban targets. So I'll make a lineup for Reno Priest. I'll make a lineup for a Demon Hunter band. And I'll kind of go through this process where I just make a whole bunch of stuff and then really think in depth about each lineup and what its strengths and weaknesses are, and just kind of compare and contrast them. So in the tournament, what I did was I did this exact process with the Quest Mage being banned from Solem's tournaments. That kind of gave a boost to those decks. And I went through and I did the process and I ended up landing on the Reno Priest ban lineup and just kind of figured things out from there. So yeah, it can be a little bit of a process, but it can actually be done pretty quick, like once you know what you're doing and have a handle of things, for sure.
That's our problem, Craig. We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, that's probably how.
We've had Danny helping us, so.
Yeah, we're playing in a little league, Team Hearth. Or it's not a league, Team Hearth Legends. We're not allowed to call it a league.
THL had that rebrand, right?
Yeah,
we all got cease and desist letters last 2 years ago now, I think.
Yeah, when we were.
Yeah.
Yes, it's always super not fun getting an email from Blizzard saying, "You need to not do what you're doing." It's like, uh-oh.
Like what a weird way to thank us for giving the game some press, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no, I did THL, but it was in standard. This is a couple years back.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I didn't even realize until a couple weeks ago that actually started up wild stuff.
Yeah, we basically, I think I was one of the pushing forces behind it. I was kind of bothering them, and we made a poll, and a lot of people wanted to sign up, and literally, I think within a week we had it filled to the point where there's people that want to join now that it's a thing. So hopefully, like this season, we're doing teams of 3 rather than teams of 5. But seems like there's enough interest that we'll be able to do a full. I keep saying we, but I'm not really doing any of the work. I'm just playing in the tournament. But it's super fun. Like this year so far, I'm undefeated on our team. Who would have guessed it? But Nate's been doing good. Nate's 2-2, and Danny's I think 3-1. Our team's crushing it pretty well. So not to brag, but when me and you are both kind of tournament spikes here, Corbett.
I won my games today. It made me very happy. It's such a small, I think Wild as a whole has a relatively small community when you look at, when you compare it with Standard, right? And so a bunch of the people that we're going up against, like it's friends sometimes, which is kind of weird, but you know, at the same time, it's good. It's enjoyable. And I don't know, we've been having a blast with it. So
yeah, I might have to step in and, you know, jump in next season or whenever they plan on redoing it. Yeah.
I imagine they'll do it again. They've got to. I think they were, what I had heard is that they were like pleasantly surprised with the interest level, where there were so many people that wanted to join in that eventually there's like a waiting list, or anytime someone needs a sub, you know, it seems like it's going pretty well.
Oh yeah. So I have the big question. This is probably the hardest hitting question that you've been hit with in your life. You've hit the first time you hit top 10 legend, it must have felt incredible. The first time that you won, when you won this giant tournament last weekend, that must have been incredible. And what I think might be the crowning achievement is making it onto the list of top 10 hottest guys in Wild. We had Shia on last week, so I'm wondering which one of these put the biggest smile on your face. What accomplishment made you smile from ear to ear?
Great, come on. You know you don't have to ask this question. You already know the answer. You know which one I've printed out, and like I've got it on my fridge. Top 10 hottest Wild streamer, like, you know.
Oh my goodness, you deserved it. Like I haven't seen that video since it came out, and I kind of forgotten. Literally, Corbett hops on stream with us before we start the show, and I just look at him and I go, "You were on that list, weren't you, Corbett?" He's for the podcast listeners, open his Twitter and you'll see he's a very attractive Wild streamer. Some guys just got it all, eh, Nate?
It's not fair. It's not fair.
Now that we're done making you feel uncomfortable, let's move on.
Perfect. Yeah.
So, you know, we typically will ask this question of guests when we have them on, like, what is it about Wild? Like, why Wild versus Standard? Is there, like, what draws you to the format?
Well, like you were saying, the close-knit community and having like a smaller community is actually kind of a little bit of a driving force, because it feels like when I'm playing Wild, I have like a real shot of sort of like being able to influence the meta and sort of like change things and have an impact. I get to explore, you know, new decks and archetypes and strategies that other people might not be thinking about. So I think that's a really big part of it, you know, just getting to test stuff and do all that kind of thing. And I think the other part is like the whole card pool being entirely available just means you have so many more options. You have so much more, a lot of the time, creativity, and, you know, a lot of the decks that I like to play can't really be played in Standard. Yeah. Like I like to play a lot of these like types of very fast combo decks, and those are the exact things that I've generally tried to push out. Like Standard now is very mid-rangey. It's very like a bit more late game focused, you know. And in Wild, I want to play things like Inner Fire Priest. You know, I want to play decks that are fast and snappy, and, you know, play a bunch of cards combo-y. So yeah, it's a whole bunch of stuff, and I still keep up in both formats, but yeah, Wild has definitely obviously become my my main format, and I've really enjoyed it.
Nice. Let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. As a how do I put it? Like as an influencer, say, I think you're definitely an authority on the format as a kind of consistent top 10 Wild Legend player. When you post decks, other people will play them, and you don't have to answer this question if I'm throwing you a curveball, but you know, by the time you post the deck and realize that other people are going to start playing this deck, have you already moved on to something different, or like a counter to the deck that you just posted?
Sometimes, actually, yeah, it's happened a few times there where I've been, I posted a deck and I've become aware that people might be net decking it. And for me, also, I'm very like, I don't know, I guess like sort of like ADHD, sort of. I don't know like how to phrase that, but it's like I'll find a deck, I'll play it a bunch, test it, post it on Twitter, and then I'll just like move on to the next deck the next day. Like I kind of just have to keep trying new things. So yeah, it can be a bit like that. But it's always really cool when you post something and you see other people trying it. That's always really sweet for sure.
One of my favorite stories revolving you with this is this must have been like a month back now or so, where you hit legend, or was it number one? I can't remember where it was in legend, but was it you who went to legend with Snip Snap Warlock? Like just
Oh yeah.
and every Discord that I was in exploded because your tweet was vague. You said got to legend with this and with Snip Snap.
100% win rate. Yeah,
Yes.
100% win rate.
And every Discord I was in, every wild Discord I was in, exploded with people. Oh my God, Snip Snap's back! How? I don't get it. And then you just have that one guy in the room, like, guys, it was one game or it was 2 games, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, that's like Concerned Mom last week, or was it the week before? Had hit legend with his 30 legendary minion deck.
Yes.
And it's like, hey, 100% win rate, hit legend with this. And people start looking at the list like,
Yeah.
Sorry, what did you do now?
He
so
beat me with that. Concerned Mom beat me down horribly the other day with that list.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It was an embarrassment. I thought about retiring.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that deck is a reward on his channel.
Yeah.
And it's so funny just to see. Like, I've never seen so many people get up in arms as when you put that when you posted that list. I laughed so hard. The meme was so perfect.
I mean, I thought it was a joke. Like, I thought it was really obvious. But then when the 12th person replied, "Oh my god, explain. Is there a guide?" That's when I knew I'd gone a little bit too far.
Yeah, with great power comes absolutely zero responsibility, evidently.
Oh yeah. Notifications off, and away we go.
Oh, that's great. Just post it and leave. Check back in a few days and see what mayhem you've gotten up to.
Yeah, so many of us are used to just, if I see a deck on Twitter and it catches my eye at all, I'm copying that code and I'm playing it, like, so if you don't question it, then that's what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
it's almost funny. You probably gave a lot of people some good win percentage that day by facing up. But I know that was a meme. But what archetype do you like? Have you are you responsible for bringing into the meta, if any? Like, have you ever tested something that ended up being a tier 1 deck, or have you been ahead of the curve on any decks in the past?
Yeah, so in standard, I was responsible, or like I think largely responsible for Kaliseth Rogue and Hybrid Hunter, which used like Master's Call with the secrets. So those were 2 tier 1 decks that I think I probably might have been the main person in popularizing. So I try and avoid the word invented or anything, like I invented this deck, but I try and say popularized. But in terms of wild stuff, I would say I've had a good influence on probably like Even Shaman. I was one of the first people to hit rank 1 legend with that. Did a lot with like Inner Fire Priest. I don't know. There's been a few decks. It's kind of hard to remember off the top.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, I'd say a few. Yeah.
It must be cool. Me, it's like if I hit legend with something, no one cares. Oh, good for you, Greg. Nut decked again.
we can switch one card and call it ours, right?
Yeah, that's my. Oh yeah, I think though that's what I did when I hit legend the very first time. I took Get Meowth's. I took Get Meowth's Murloc Paladin and I put Hunger Crabs in and called it a day. I was like, boom, tier 1. But.
So how long have you been playing for? Long time?
Yeah, since when was that? 2015. So right when a month before TGT came out, a buddy of mine had been like playing it since beta, and he'd been nagging me and a couple friends for like a year. And then one day, just in like the middle of summer, like middle of school break, it was like midnight, and we were like, screw it. All right, show us. And then we ended up staying like all night, basically, just like playing and learning Hearthstone. And yeah, been making poor decisions and then coming back ever since.
That happened to me too. My kid brother started playing in the beta, and it's like, hey, you got to see this. Hey, you got to see this. I'm like, no, I don't have time. I'm already playing. You just got me back into playing Magic after I've been out for years, and I don't want to play another card game. I don't have time. And I finally I watched it. I'm like, oh, this looks really fun actually, and kind of jumped in. I started playing sometime between Nax and BlackRock, and I've been whole hog ever since. So it's
Yeah, for me it was my roommate always, come play Hearthstone, come play Hearthstone. I finally said okay, because I was a Magic guy, so I kind of looked down on Hearthstone a little bit because that's what we all did back then.
It's easy Magic.
Yeah, it's Magic for kids, Magic for dummies, whatever. And I got super into it, and it's so funny because like 3 years later, I'm sitting there trying to convince my same roommate to get back into Hearthstone, and it took Battlegrounds to actually get him back in. So I was thrilled for that. It's just so funny how something can, like, this game looked really unappealing to me when I first started, and now it's like it's life. It's Bay. Hearthstone is Bay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna write a love song about it, of course. But yeah, so I think that's pretty good. I think everyone kind of, the 4 people listening who didn't know who you were or only heard of you now have an idea of who you are, and I think that's great. And if they don't know who you are, then you guys need to really pick the people you follow on Twitter a little better, because Corbett's a great resource for anyone. And as you can tell, he's a very sweet and kind guy.
Yeah. I didn't even consider, I think the Hearthstone community is like largely on Twitter. I don't follow, on Facebook, or I'm not really in the Reddits or anything else. So I imagine there's a whole different side of the community that we're not aware of, but I don't know, like, where do you spend a lot of time? I mean, are you on the Twitter or the Discords, or what do you recommend for people who are looking to have TikTok, a bigger part of the community?
Yeah, I think like the Discord is like the main thing. Whereas like, CompHS, the Wild Hearthstone Discord from the subreddit, there's a couple others out there. So I usually use that. I used to use like Reddit a lot. I'm kind of like, I actually like mod like the main sub and the CompHS subreddit, except I barely use them anymore. So whoops.
Again, Corbett. Again, with great power comes very little responsibility.
Yeah, no responsibility. Yeah, it's kind of my move, huh? The more I'm thinking about it. Yeah, the Discord communities are really good, I think.
Speaking of Discord community, we've got one too.
Yeah, that's the plug.
Craig does a better job, but I saw the opportunity.
Oh, of course. I'll plug anything. Like, I'll plug a fork into an outlet if you let me. Like, I have no shame. Discord.com. Check the Twitter for it. But yeah, so I don't know. Should we move into some news? Like, we had a little bit of news come out this week. Do you have that ready, Nate? Or
yeah, I've got a few things. And actually, before we jump into the news, let's take a 2-second sponsor break and just have a super big shout out to our patrons of the show. So Shokunin and Pug Ugly, thank you guys so much for supporting the show. They are the executive producers of our show, kind of financially back the show, and really we couldn't do a lot of the things that we are doing without their help. So thank you guys very much. And also big shout out to our patrons, Adam W. and Mezzi Crochet. Thank you guys very much. So appreciate it. If anybody's interested, we've got a Patreon. There's not really anything there right now, but we'll get around to it at some point. Maybe. If you're so inclined, it's patreon.com/born to be wild HS, and I'll leave it at that. I don't want to pester people, but I did want to say thank you very much. So
I'll pester quick. So if you enjoy this content, it's not going to hurt you to throw $2 our way, first of all. And if not, that's fine. But if you can't afford it, go on iTunes and give us a 5-star review, give us a little comment, or even better, just retweet our episodes once in a while and say these guys are great. We just want people to listen, right? Because the more people who listen, the more likely someone will give us $2. And if we get that $2, then we can maybe buy an expansion for free. That'd be cool. And if you're not good with the online stuff and you happen to live in Canada and see me walking down the street, just hand me a $5. I'm not going to complain. So as long as we're gonna shill ourselves out, that works as well. So thanks guys for listening, and listening's enough, but honestly, share the show with your friends, and we'd love that.
That would share the show would be like the greatest thing for me. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, or if you see me on the streets, $5 is great too.
Or give give Craig $5. That's so a little bit of news. There's kind of not a whole lot, but there's a handful of things. So there was a hot fix that they put in to fix a problem with the rank display. I don't know if you guys are on the Twitch right now, but did you see that? Sippy posted a picture of your rank. He said, "Yeah, rank 69 is great and all, but have you ever tried rank 1 BDBD?"
Oh wow!
Did you see that? I don't know if you've got on the Twitch. It's like there was some error showing people's ranks all funky, and he posted yours. It was pretty funny. So,
yeah.
So that's fixed anyhow.
That
or every once in a while, and I don't know.
For a bit, I think.
I'm not sure how it works, but every once in a while, like I'll pull up the friends list and see different people have the same rank at the same time, and I don't know how that's possible. I assume it's an error, but I don't know.
Yeah, and
Anyways.
now we can move our deck lists around, which is really cool. I've been doing that all week, just moving them around just for fun. They shake, they do a little cute little thing when you hold them down. So a little quality of life adjustment there by Hearthstone as well.
It threw me off the first time I moved it. Okay, so what else? The classic bundle. You can buy the golden classic bundle in the shop right now.
Yeah,
I did it and I got pure golden trash.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Nate, is that golden trash is still pretty good. Like it's true though. Your dust to money output here is positive. It's good EV. So like unless you get like I think you might lose out if you get all commons and all rares, like zero double zero, like you know what I mean, only 5 rares and a bunch of commons, you might lose out. But if that's the case, then you would lose out if you just bought 6 regular packs too, right? Like so this overall is going to be it's a good deal. So if you're a dust person, it's a good deal. And if you like playing with golden cards, it's a good deal. But if you don't want to pay money for the game, then don't. But I like it, and I'm not one of those guys who collects golden packs, so I opened all of mine and
me
nothing
too.
good. Nothing good. But
I pulled two golden fairy dragons and I kept those. I pulled a golden eviscerate and I kept that, and a golden Salcy deckhand and I kept that, and I dusted everything else. I got 1 epic. The rest of it was normal stuff. But I had been sitting on 2 golden priestesses and they were worth the full dust value from the nerf. And so I dusted those and dusted the rest and crafted a golden Skull of the Minari and a golden Spirit Singer Umbra. And so that made me feel happy. So
well, you're getting close to golden cube block.
I'm close. I'm all the legends are done anyhow. So 2 epics left. I need the 2 faceless, but aside from that, it's pretty much done.
You already have the cubes?
Yep.
Wow.
Corbett, do you play? You use golden cards, or not so much?
No, I avoid it. Yeah, I dust like every golden card. I'm a monster for sure.
We have a song just for you, actually. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll send it to you later. It's called Dirty Duster.
Okay, I'll take a look.
Craig, I sang it the whole time I dusted those. It's beautiful.
Good.
It was beautiful.
Happy to hear. What else was there? Oh, the nerfs went live, eh?
Yeah, I thought we hit him last week. I thought we got him like right before the show went, but
we got the announcement. We never actually the nerfs hadn't gone live yet. They went live early this week.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I was surprised because I thought that Odd Demon Hunter was gonna take like a giant hit here with Priestess and Sigil Runner being nerfed, but like this week on ladder, I've been still bumping into a bunch of them and still losing quite a bit. Like it's not like it's a trash deck now, so that caught me off guard a little bit. I'm curious what your reactions are to the nerfs pre-patch and post-patch there, Corbett.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I expected. I thought that Odd Demon Hunter would probably still be tier 1, might even be the best deck, despite the nerfs. Like, the deck was already clamoring to play, like, 40 cards, Like, it had a lot of choice. So I didn't think that the losses were going to hurt that much. I know in Standard, the meta's been a little bit more shaken up, it feels like. But yeah, Wild, it seems kind of didn't really do much. Same old for the most part.
Yeah, I think the Paladin thing is probably the most notable change in Wild, where we do have another viable like archetype now with, I guess, OTK Paladin. Like, it feels fine. It doesn't feel insane to
Yeah.
me, but it feels good. So that's interesting. It's always nice to have a little bit more selection when deciding what to stream or to play or whatever. So that's interesting, but you're right. It didn't have a crazy effect on the meta like we might have hoped for.
What do you think
I
about
thought the nerfs were
Priestess?
like great. So I thought the nerfs were like really good overall, though. Like I know, even though it didn't affect Wild, I thought they were some of the best nerfs they've done. With Priestess, I think we probably are supposed to cut it now. I assume. I think the body is just a little bit too easy to remove. At 5 health, but I'm not sure. I'm open to having my mind changed, basically.
I like the effect, but I mean, so what I've seen in Standard is that the body's not big enough anymore, but like the mana count is still right for Wild. So like, I don't know. That card came in clutch. I mean, that's what I used to hit Legend this month, pretty early, but it was before the nerf, and that card was awesome. But it was on the high end, and I was playing a more kind of mid-rangey odd Demon Hunter. And so I don't know. Like, I mean, I've played it a little bit post-nerf, but I'm not really settled on... I mean, I kind of hit and then started memeing out. I'm like in dumpster Legend, so...
Like, it feels like they'll just... Like, the only difference, really, is that they'd have to throw maybe an extra minion on it to kill it, and, like, Fireball doesn't just kill it. But, like, outside of that, I can't think of too many removal spells that, like... that hit it now that didn't hit it before. So I'm curious if it's still just good enough because of the amount of initiative it gives. And Solmir actually got worse against it. Fun little interaction there. So I'm interested.
I don't know. So I don't know if you guys have the screen up for the Twitch or not, but I saw that Soda posted the reason the nerf Priestess of Fury to 5 health is Ixar is a secret mage player, and explosive runes, Fireball, and Cloud Prince are 6 damage.
It's a great observation.
It's so funny. I mean, it's not wrong. So.
I love Ixar. Like, why did he have to pick Secret Mage at that point in time? He should have lied.
He should have brought back the snip lock, the post nerf.
Yeah. Oh god. I just thought I saw that and it was too funny to not keep. So
yeah, that is hilarious.
So someone in the chat was saying that Soda posted an interesting list with Vulpera Scoundrel, and we've been. Craig and myself and Danny have been using that card in our odd Demon Hunter since day one.
For about a month now, I'd say.
I think between that and then what is the Cobalt Scalebane, I think, is the other one? Spellkin that will generate the 1 mana Demon Hunter cards. Because like you've got 2 choices, right? It's either the Silence one or the Mana Burn one. And that's been great. It's that helped me out a lot. And the Vulpera Scoundrel can get you some decent cards. I think that the Demon Hunter secrets or Demon Hunter spells overall are just genuinely pretty strong.
Well, yeah, we were talking to, or Danny was talking to a Chinese player who gave him that list, and Danny said, like, why are you playing Valpyra? And the guy just writes, well, Valpyra has Demon Hunter doesn't have bad spells. I was like, oh, he's kind of right. Like, I've never played, like, Valpyra, the argument for it not being good enough is that it's a 2/3, so obviously it's not on brand with the rest of the deck. 3-mana 2/3 is not great, but I've never, ever got a card off that I've been upset with. And like, even if you have to grab the mystery, you're pretty much going to get a good card still. And like, I've seen it just steal games. Like THL the other week, Danny discovered Inner Demon off of it on turn 3 and just swung for
he used it for damage. Lethal. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, on turn 9. So I do like the card. What are your thoughts on Valpyra and Demon Hunter, Corbett?
I think that I was kind of surprised how the stats on it didn't seem very trash. Like, I thought the card would be really, really bad, but it actually seems kind of okay. When I looked at like the drawn win rate stuff on it. But yeah, it's like what you're saying, right? Is that the pool's so small and every spell is so damn good that maybe you can get away with it. Personally, I haven't been playing it, but it's definitely an option for sure.
It seems like go ahead, Nate.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I mean, I assume that the list that you're using is the one that you took to the tournament, right?
Yeah, except I'm no longer running Blowtorch, and I've cut the Priestess for some other stuff. But yeah, like took out the nerf cards, added the Henge clans back in. So yeah, changed things a little bit, but very similar.
Henge clan is awesome in this list. Yeah. Sorry, Craig. I keep running you over. Go for it.
I'm used to it. It's been like 2 years here, Nate. I'm just kidding. But do you think that the pirate package is kind of like a must now, or am I off base there? Like after these nerfs, it seems like you might want to run the pirates now, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I added the pirates back in, but I kind of hate them. Like the amount of times I draw patches, it's just so frustrating. But I can't like the pirate package is obviously like so good if you can just get it out early. Like deckhand on one in the mirror is so powerful. Getting like multiple bodies on board is really, really good in the mirror because Demon Hunter can only really kill one thing at a time. But it's just so frustrating, man. Like I hate it. So I hope it's not correct.
I don't like them personally. I see Memnarch's in the chat saying he doesn't like them, but I think the beauty of the class is that it's not fully settled yet. I mean, we're close on an optimal list, but not quite there.
Yeah,
so.
It's really amazing that Odd Demon Hunter is probably the deck with the most like variants. Like there's so many different variants of it. And like you do have like 40 cards or so that are really consistently seeing a ton of play, and you have like really good mirror text as well, with the freeze effects and the blowtorch and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a ton of options, and I think honestly it's a deck that just might change a little bit over time. Like it might just depend on what's seeing play. Like if there's a lot of other Demon Hunter, you can tech for the mirror. If there's more Warlock, you might run the Spelkin, the Cobalt, so you can get more access to silence. I honestly think it just kind of depends, and we'll have to see how it goes from here with the pool. Probably like doubling. The Demon Hunter cards doubling in size in the next like couple expansions. So
yeah, no,
it should be terrifying. Terrifying / like exciting, depending on whether you're playing it or not.
Yeah, I'm curious to see like how good will they have to make even cards for an aggressive odd demon or an aggressive demon hunter to not be a aggressive odd demon hunter. Like how good are these 2-drops going to have to get for us to not want to put Baku in the deck, right? Because it is kind of funny that it's like the one deck in the game where you have more options with your demon hunter list in standard than you do in wild, because we're right away eliminating like all the even cards. So it's a fun little it's like the only class that's like that, right? Like any other class that you play, you're gonna have more options in wild than standard, except for demon hunter. So I'm kind of hoping that they do print some 2-drops and 4-drops that we just can't live without, so that maybe we will see something without Baku. Like I know we do see some without Baku, but I just feel like right now that's wrong. Maybe I'm wrong there, but it just feels like odd is so much better.
No, I think anytime I'm playing ladder and I see a demon hunter that's not odd, like I think that they've just got a card in their pre-nerf on accident or something, right? Like I forgot to update
when they nerfed Ultras, I queued in. I said, "Where's my hero?" Ultras. She's 4 mana. Memnarch has a good point in the chat where he said if they printed a good pirate in Demon Hunter, then you might see them want to switch for ship's cannon, which I agree with. I think that makes sense, and I hope they don't, because like let's be honest, we don't need to see any more Bloodsail Corsairs or South Sea deckhands in this meta. I'm tired of pirates.
I will say that that pirate list that Memnarch has been playing has been just absolutely bonkers, really, really good. A lot of refill, and it's, I don't know.
Yeah, have you played the double cache finder list, Corbett, the Ankar list?
Yeah, the Pirate Warrior. I've been playing a lot. I think it's really, really good. Like it might be the best deck in the format.
Are you playing the list that only runs Ankar for weapon?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that same list.
I have a question.
I don't know. Go for it.
because you're an expert. Memnarch's an expert too, so he'll probably answer in chat. But do you keep Ankar in the opening?
Like I tend to, yeah, but sometimes I'll toss it. I don't know. Like it's kind of awkward. Where you're opening yourself up to having these 2 dead cards. But yeah, most often I'll just keep it and try my best not to draw the spells. Like it's I don't know.
Last week was the one. I think I have the screenshot somewhere. If I do, I'll post it on Twitter. But I had Inkar, or no, I had the 2-mana spell in my opening hand, and I go perfect, and then I draw the 2-mana spell again. I'm like, okay, it's not the end of the world. Then turn 3 comes, I drew Ankar. I'm just looking at my hand, and I had nothing to play, and I'm playing against a Paladin, so on top of that, their Divine Favor got better because I had 2 dead spells in my hand that I didn't want to cast with if I had anything else to do. It was such a bad game, I didn't play anymore that night. Like, drawing patches would have just made it perfect, and I didn't, but
yeah.
My goodness.
The deck is so high rolling now, which is something I'm sure everyone wanted.
Really, between
high roll deck.
Yes, between Ship's Cannon and the 3-mana Ship's Cannon and patches and the weapon tutors, it is like one of the. It's like it really is crazy. It's like Knife Juggler back in the day. It's just insane.
Yeah.
Ragnaros, like I guess either way, it's super fun and it is a really cool deck. You should not be allowed to tutor Ankar, I don't think so. That's interesting. And imagine this deck if they didn't nerf it, right? They never nerfed Ankar. Like, it's hard to believe that card was already nerfed.
I don't know. I like a couple of the craziest things, how to make a tier 1 deck. Anything that will like tutor a card, anything that will reduce the cost of a card. I mean, they're just good. So
yeah, go face really fast. Those are the main things. Like I have a hard time thinking of many decks that don't play a tutor or many tutors that don't see play. Like it's very rare unless they're severely overcosted. Like even Sense Demon back in the day, we weren't playing it as much, and now it's like almost an auto include. So it just feels like tutors are. I like them personally. Like I do like my deck being able to do what it's supposed to do, but being on the other end of it can be pretty disheartening at times.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey, so we did have a little bit of other news, just super quick. For those of you who were following the different meta reports, so I know the Vicious Syndicate puts out a meta report and Tempostone puts out a meta report. Team Rankstar had been putting out a meta report and they lost funding and the team kind of disbanded. The person who is essentially been running that team is Reno Jackson. And when
we're gonna be rich,
we are gonna be rich. And he started up a new group when that disbanded. So there is a new Discord and a new meta report on its way called Team Wildside. If anybody is interested in looking that up, it's just at Wildside HS on Twitter.
Yeah, Reno Jackson's good people, smart guy. I'm excited to see what they come out with.
Yeah, it should be interesting. The only other thing that have you guys watched the card back streams? I thought that's been kind of fun for me.
No, I haven't checked it out at all.
I mean, they're kind of it's funny because each one is about 2 hours long of just watching somebody paint this card back, but they've been chatting through the process and it's actually pretty interesting. I've had a good time with it. It's definitely different, but getting like regular content, like behind the scenes content from them, was pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. I really liked it. I thought it was great. I was really thrown off when Luke, the main artist of the stream, he said that he was from rural Victoria in Australia, and I'm like, hang on, that's exactly where I'm from. So
wow, small world.
It was really, really quite great. Yeah,
turns out he's your dad.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, he's back after so long. But yeah, no, the streams were really, really good. I thought they were great. Like I'm not an artsy person. I have no knowledge about that stuff, but I still really enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really cool.
Now all I can picture is 7-year-old Corbett. Like, Dad, where are you going? I'm just going to get a pack of cards, son. I'm just going to get a pack of cards. Yeah, this definitely is something I meant to check out. Do you know if they kept VODs up of this anywhere, Nate?
The VODs are still up because I didn't watch it live. I had to watch it later. But the VODs are there, and I'm sure they'll probably make it to the YouTube as well. But it's fun.
It does. It looks nice.
It's crazy. So he came up with 8 sketches, and then they kind of narrowed it down to choose one. It was, and I think there was probably 4, 5, 6 different ideas that they had in mind before they even settled on the fairy dragon design. And then like just sitting there on screen chatting, answering questions, drew up 8 different designs and then settled on this one and started painting it. It was just really crazy. But it really, I don't know, it's pretty fun, interesting. So hey, so before I forget, we had been talking last week on the show. We have a giveaway to do.
That's right. We're giving away posters.
We are giving away posters. So let's okay, so here's this cool poster. Yeah, no, but it's not that one. It's the like the cartoony dragon that Christina Oe made, and it's super cool. So I've got 5 of these to give away, and
and anyone who messaged us, you got entered for a second entry because we said we would, and we did. So did you already pick the names, Nate, or are you doing it now?
No, we're gonna do it live. We're gonna do it live on the show. So I've got a wheel. Wow. I've got the spinny wheel to do here, and so let's just do it. And I've got everyone here. If this spins and it chooses you, you just get pulled out of the list. But all right, let's do this.
Wow, the suspense is killing me.
Right?
Podcast.
Oh, okay. All right. We've got 5 of these. So, Astral Flame, awesome. That's number 1.
I'm not gonna lie, I was rooting for him.
Hey, he's a good friend. He came on the show and all that. That's cool. I'm rooting for Shokunin, but I'm happy to give him away to anybody. So,
yeah, if Shokunin doesn't win, we should probably just send him one for sponsoring our show.
Yes, we should. Okay, winner number 2 is Odd HS.
Oh, that's odd.
That is odd. Hey, what do you know? All right. Winner number 3, Shokunin.
Perfect. Not rigged at all. Hashtag not rigged.
That's why we're doing this live.
That's an expensive. Hey, he's been a Patreon member for a while. That's an expensive poster.
It is. Okay. I got 2 more.
Today, Nate. That's our time, not Corbett's time.
It's a wheel. It's spinning. If you're not watching the Twitch, I swear to God, it's spinning in the background. Okay, winner number 4 is Nightwing. Very cool. He was my opponent today in THL, actually.
Well, this is just rubbing it in at this point.
I feel it's a little bad, but
you should sign the poster. Haha, I won.
All right, winner number 5 is Kampa, who won one of our other giveaways, I think, for some of the packs or something. But
and coincidentally, we're related. I'm just kidding, listeners. It's not rigged.
It's not. I swear, that's why we do this stuff live on the show. Anyways, so congrats, you guys. I will DM you. I'm gonna need your shipping address so I can send these out. But those posters will be worth big money one day when we're super famous. That's right. When we get the website up and running, we can probably sell them. I'm not for a lot, but just to give them away. I'm just happy that people want them. So that made me happy.
Astrals told me he's gonna use his to heat his house.
You know what? That's fine. Whatever he wants to do with it, it's his now. So, and then one thing that we've been doing on the show the past several weeks, I guess it's really been since the new ladder changes, I guess, is just giving people shout outs when they hit Wild Legend for the first time. And so there were 3 more over the past week. And so Chaos OS, first time Legend Hearthstone with Wild Baku Demon Hunter. Very, very cool. So congrats. The deck is definitely busted. So if you're going to take one to Legend, it seems like a good choice to me. I don't remember if we got this one last week on the show or not, but Bugax. How do you pronounce it?
I love his name.
Yes, me too. That's great. After 2.5 years of playing Hearthstone, finally hit Legend with Odd Demon Hunter from 10 Diamond to 3 Diamond, Big Priest from 3 to 1, and Do-Ins Reno Hunter going 5-1 to Legend.
And
So
Boogax, I just want to say that if you do enjoy our show, I'm a little hurt that Nate's an inspiration, and I'm not. Not to I'm just messing around. I don't care. I don't need your approval. Hashtag not salty.
not at all. Not at all. And then our last one is our buddy Earl Lovings, aka Eddie Phoenix, got it after playing also since beta, grinding for. I know we did some Discord together last week, and he's been wanting it really bad. Was trying a lot of different things, and nothing was really clicking. He switched over to Reno Priest and got it. So very, very, very cool. So congrats to you guys.
I loved his TV show. My name is Earl joke. Oh, I'm awful. This is why I'm not that other guy's inspiration.
So what have you guys been playing lately? I think for you, Corbett, I know you are consistently like top 10 Legend, and I guess what it's been for me, I'll hit Legend and then meme out for the rest of the month, which is probably not a great idea, but like don't really care about my rank too much. But I noticed, and I've got a screenshot here. Corbett, you've been playing this Bomb Warrior that looked pretty spicy.
Yeah. So I always try and like try out new stuff, but I was thinking about like, is there a way to beat aggro and Reno Priest at the same time? And I figured like Warrior with the bombs might be a good way to go. Made sense to me, and yeah, had a really good win rate with it yesterday. So
we've been running it in. We've been playing a lot in THL, like a Galakron Warrior. That's what Memnarch's saying too. But Danny gave us a list, and it seems pretty strong. We were running Wrench Caliber and that also to just mess with the Reno decks a little bit.
Yeah, that was the only bomb guy we were running, but this deck looks interesting. I do like. Have you tried Galakron Warrior out too much?
I did like a while back, right when it was, an actual thing, probably back in like February or January, it was a bigger deal. But yeah, I'll definitely test out the Galakron stuff, sometime soon for sure.
Bomb Wrangler is a lot better than it looks, eh? Like we were surprised by that card.
Yeah.
It seems okay, but it's just so good against Demon Hunter. It's like a little ridiculous how good it is.
I think it's actually one of those cards, like sometimes this just happens where a card is better in Wild than it is in Standard.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, it's a strong card in Standard, but the way it lines up with things like Warlock, with Dark Skies and Defile, and just like the way you need to like stick on board, I honestly think, yeah, it's really, really strong in Wild and kind of crazy.
I like it against aggro. Like it soaks up a bunch of damage, and the bombs can clear the board, or the bombs can go face, and those are both good things. So, yeah. Craig, I saw you were telling me you were playing this OTK Paladin. Can you tell me about that a little bit? I have the list up on the screen, but
yeah, I was playing. This is this is not my deck. This is Mentalistik, and I want to say it was Mentalistik and Gold Daniel worked on this together.
Gold Daniel playing something that's non-Warlock. What is going on?
Yeah, and I know EK helped out a little bit towards the end. Like, so they came up with two versions they did, and this is more of the if you want to speed up aggro a little more, this is the version for you. And that's what I decided to go with because I've been seeing a ton of aggro on the ladder. And this deck's really cool. So first of all, before we had these Paladin quest decks where it didn't matter which quest you played because you weren't ever planning on finishing them. You were just using it to get coins. But now with the League Brim package being buffed, it's actually more necessary that you play the last Kaleidosaur because I would say at least 80% of my games, like any games that went long enough, I played the last Kaleidosaur, and I won a few games with them, like against Secret Mage, you can win with the last Kaleidosaur. Against any deck that has a hard time removing something huge, you can crush. Even aggro, you can kind of, if you survive long enough, then the Kaleidosaur can be a giant 5/9 taunt, can't be targeted. It's really good. And then on top of that, now you only need one coin to to combo with this deck now, because you can go. So you don't even need to play Thorison anymore, so you're not taking a turn off. You get Uther down, and then to combo out, all you need to do is play Auction Master Beardo, Hero Power, Coin, Hero Power, and then the 2 Libram buffers as your last couple spells to refresh your Hero Power, so you can win with the OTK, you can win with the quest. And there's a few games where I won just actually tempoing out. The deck has enough bodies that you can win. You can pump your Wild Pyromancer with the 2-mana spell Hand of Adal, and that's just insane. Same with Acolyte of Pain and the new Libram card, Libram of Justice, which is like equality, but it's one-sided and gives you a 1/4 weapon. Is just incredible, and you're playing it for 0 or 1 or 2 or 3, whatever. You're playing it for cheap often. So I fell in love with this deck. It's by far not it's not tier 1. By no means is it, and this is probably not optimized yet. Mentalistik was still working on it when I snagged it off him. I was watching him stream it in Burnt Discord, and I was watching them Theorycraft, and I took what they had so far. They were still unsure about Elven Archer and a couple other little things in the deck, but this deck is way better than it looks, and I strongly recommend it, especially if you only need to craft, because I imagine most people will only need to craft the last Kaleidostor, so I can understand not wanting to, but nothing is more fun than playing the last Salaya Vadon, whatever the hell it's called. Nothing feels better than playing that, so I strongly recommend you guys give this a chance. Have you played this at all, Nate?
No, I haven't yet. I don't know, but I have this bad habit. And I don't know, a habit anyhow of once I hit 1,000 wins with a deck, I pretty much will stop playing it. Sort of. I mean, I guess I've still been playing a lot of Mage and Warlock, so maybe I shouldn't say that. But Paladin was my first love, and played it to I don't know, well past 1,000, and so I don't play as much anymore. I've been really wanting a viable OTK version for a long time, and I'm totally fine playing tier 3 decks. So this looks fun to me, but I have not had a chance to play it yet.
It's really fun. How about you, Corbett? Have you experimented with the Libram package at all?
Yeah, I played a little bit of this deck. I went roughly 50-50, so yeah, not bad. I really like it though, because Paladin for so long in Wild has been really pigeonholed into just aggro. It's 3 different flavors of the same thing, where it's Murlocs, Mechs, Odd. It's all kind of aggro, so I'm really excited if Paladin can actually find something that's relatively viable that has a bit of a different game plan. So yeah, hopefully their Libram package. Hey, dude, they might even buff them more. Wizards really needing to make Librams a thing. So let's get that Libram of Hope. Let's make that 4 mana, and let's just keep this thing going.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see more Libram cards printed, actually. I'm not sure if they'll power these ones up anymore, but I do think so, because they were talking about how Paladin doesn't have much of an identity when they made this when they made the announcement about Libram. So I'm thinking it's the beginning of the year still. I wouldn't be surprised to see a few more. And if we get something similar to Solem Vigil with Librams, draw anything that says draw a card with and gets reduced by Libram seems insane. So I'm really excited to see what else for support this gets, because really the last time I remember a viable control deck or combo deck with Paladin is probably anything, maybe. Obviously there's always been this thing, but the last good one was probably anything can happen.
Yeah,
and even anything, the most recent version of that was kind of this aggro Paladin with anything as top end. It wasn't even a controlling, you have to go way back until you find that kind of deck.
Yeah,
that's a really good point.
Yeah, I really missed the version with that only played old Murk-Eye, double Bluegill, and double 3/3 War Leader. That was such a fun deck, and this deck is kind of reminiscent of it a little bit. And being able to play the last Kaleidostor, come on.
I actually found one. I've been following the Chinese meta reports and a lot of the Chinese players, just because they've got so many more people playing on I guess on their Wild server than we do, and found a list of anyfin. It was either earlier today or it was yesterday, and it was the low end of it was all secrets, and the Anyfin package on the top end. I'll have to find it and share it with you guys, but it was pretty cool. It's definitely different. I don't know what else to say, but it looks fun. So I'm looking forward to trying that out.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it, I think. Was it you who sent me that list today, Nate? Or maybe it
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
you.
it was me.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
So
I just sent it to somebody. It was you.
yeah, I played a few games with it while I was barbecuing tonight. So obviously I didn't really sit down with it, but I won a couple games. It felt pretty good to cast Anything Can Happen. I even got a salty friend request as a result of it.
Was it from that? Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah. He wrote. What did he write? Let's see here.
Kill yourself and your mom, and
No,
I hope you die of
no.
cancer. And
No, he was more mature than that. But it was just one of those friend requests where I said, hey, what's up? And he goes, your secret choices are terrible. Purely a surprise factor deck. I'm like, what? I love it. I just love it when someone messaged me saying, like, after I crush you, and I mean, I crushed him. Like, he had to tempo out Spawn of Shadows on turn 4, and then he lost on turn 5. And then he sends the message saying, like, just so you know, you're not good at this game. Well, that last game begs to differ, my friend. So it felt good to do that. But yeah, the deck is cool. Anything different, man. At this point, like I know that we play wild, so we can't expect too much change. And I know we just got a whole new class added to the game, but it just does feel stale a little bit. Like I'm hoping we get that new adventure soon. Like usually they dole out some new stuff at this point, so that would be lovely because I am ready to have something new, something fresh.
I think what really happened this expansion was that a lot of the nerfs they did for standard just didn't affect wild. You know, like sometimes that just happens, right? Where there's not enough overlap. So I think that's why it might feel a little bit more stale in wild compared to normal. But yeah, hopefully we get to a whole bunch of new stuff.
Yeah, I hope so. I think our stream went off.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
But that's fine. We'll continue because the guys that know now that the streamers aren't here, the people on Twitch I just want to say the only people I care about are the podcasters. Okay. don't tell the guys on Twitch. But yeah, we'll continue.
We're back. We're back.
Oh no, they didn't hear me, did they? we have the running joke that whenever Astros leaves the chat, I'll say how much I hate him, but he's not here tonight, so Twitch, don't listen to me. But we just have fun here.
It's true.
Wild. We just have fun.
Okay, so I've been playing this Roll the Bones list that I got from Dane. And it's been so fun, and nobody expects it. I think was part of the. I mean, granted, I'm sitting at like I don't know 1500 legend or something, and nobody expects it. When you play rogue, everyone thinks it's odd rogue or some sort of aggressive deck. And playing a death rattle rogue, people don't see it coming, and I just kept winning and winning and winning with this. I don't know. It's been super fun. So if you're looking for something, I don't know how competitive it is. Next month when the ladder resets, I'll try it. But it's essentially running the newer secrets on the low end Mad Scientist, the Cobalt Illusionist, Umbra, and the deck kind of revolves around Anka the Buried. So if you can tempo it out on 5, make your whole hand a bunch of 1/1s, you can go pretty crazy. And I don't think I've lost yet to Demon Hunter, which is awesome.
Wow.
Dropping out an Umbra and then a Sylvanas or a Cartoot Defender or a Cube or something like that, when they're all 1-mana 1/1s is just nutty. So I've been having a blast with it. I'm not saying it's good, but it's been working well for me. I swear it's probably the surprise factor, but
who are you, my opponent from earlier?
You play
one of those.
Yeah, in here like
so. Like it's gonna there's a good shot that this is like broken someday.
Even like in this one, you play Roll the Bones and you draw like 3 or 4 cards. So for 2 mana, not bad.
Oh, yeah, pretty great. Like, like that's pretty nuts. Like even if you draw one, it's not the end of the world, right? Like 2 mana, draw one, you're not happy, but you're not gonna cry. And if you draw two, you're thrilled. You draw three, you broke the game. Congratulations, you can retire now. But yeah, and for the podcasters, we'll make sure to put these lists in the show notes for you guys. Just we didn't really go too in depth on any of these lists, so we'll just throw them in the notes for you guys to try out. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth trying these interesting takes once you've hit legend or once you've said screw it. Have some fun, damn it! Like Hearthstone's a game, and games are meant to be fun. Awkward. Got a little awkward there. That silence, I liked it, but like I always the only reason I don't like silence in a podcast is because like it's not the end of the world, but then there's someone out there looking at their phone for like, oh no, did my headphones slip out or whatever. So I always do enjoy that part.
I don't want to edit. I don't want to edit the audio on this.
Yeah. For all you guys out there, I know you're thinking like, well, they must edit so much. The show's so good. Like, we don't edit nothing. It's very rare. I might edit the smallest thing out. Like if suppose Corbett came on today and for whatever reason he was just incredibly racist, then I would edit that. I would edit that out. Corbett, I know you would never be like that, but I would edit that out. I might even edit this part out.
Yeah, you guys edited all the rants. You guys edited all the ranting I did. You guys will fix that.
Yeah, you should hear how he feels about. Anyway, so I hope that edit was good. We have fun. So before we lose everybody. So anyway, where were we? We talked about the decks. We talked about the news. We relived Corbett's insane victory in the tournament. I guess I did want to ask you about that a little bit. We didn't go too far in depth there. How like what is it like playing like that final match? Like put me in your shoes. Like you're sitting there, you're sitting down on the table against your opponent, obviously the computer desk against your opponent, and like pressure must be on, right? They're streaming your match. Like what is going through your head at that point? Like, are you nervous? Are you clammy? Or are you confident? Like, tell me what you're thinking.
I was honestly like too tired and just pure brain dead to like actually care. Like, I wasn't nervous at all. I was just kind of like completely out of it, just trying my best to just hold on and just like not do anything incredibly stupid. That's literally it. Like the tournament runs, for me, it ran between like 2 a.m. and like 8 a.m.
Ooh.
And that was like for 2 days, right? So I was on like 2 hours sleep basically over like nearly 48 hours.
Wow.
So yeah, by the end of it, I'm just like completely exhausted and yeah, too tired to be nervous.
Yeah, did you have any like did that affect anything in the finals? Like, did you?
No. I think I played. I think I did. I missed lethal on the previous round. It was like kind of a little complicated, but I missed it. But in the finals, the games were actually pretty straightforward, so there wasn't anything too disastrous. And then I went and passed out shortly after.
I imagine, like, was it hard to get to sleep? Like, was your adrenaline like? Does your adrenaline get going? Like I know with me, even like I play. To put it in perspective, I play this THL format, which is largely a fun format. There's no money on the line. There's some bragging rights. That's about it. And I can tell you that last night I was playing my match, to stay undefeated. No humble brag right there. And I can tell you when I finished, it was about 11:45, and my girlfriend's like, "Let's go to bed." And I look, and I go, "Bed? Are you crazy?" Like my adrenaline was going. Like, did you get that adrenaline spike, or were you just too tired to even get that?
Oh, I remember I did in the first day. Yeah, for sure. There was a match to basically I had to win out to make it out of the group stages. And yeah, I remember I was super nervous in that first one. But yeah, by the second day, I was just like too out of it. And it wasn't quite adrenaline. It was more the Red Bulls that were keeping me awake on that one.
No, hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, I'm trying to plug for you guys. Come on.
And what I don't mean to pride, but what was the prize pool? Like, what did you end up winning on in there?
300 US.
Oh,
So yeah, not too bad.
No, that's great.
That was
That's
pretty
great.
good.
I think that's like
Yeah,
10,000
especially-
Canadian.
Yeah, about the same here in Australia. But no, that was really great to walk away from that. No, yeah, it was a great event. Like, I'm really happy that Solem and the rest of the guys there from that community were able to put it together. And yeah, looking forward to future ones for sure.
Very
They
cool.
did a really good job. Like, I know that they had some issues on the European side, from what I understand. Like, there was a lot of technical issues, but it seems like they really kicked up their game when it came to the second time around. So hopefully it just continues to get better.
Yeah, and it felt really, really clean. There was absolutely zero issues that I heard from anyone. Like, it was super professional. So yeah, it was definitely, they took a lot of feedback from the EU tournament. And yeah, it was their first time adminning, like, for a lot of them. They'd never done that before. And the fact that they, took the feedback and then did a really great job, it only bodes well for anything in the future for sure.
Yeah, and it's not just because Corbett won that he is giving so much praise.
No,
I know that, like, Get Meowth, for instance, was like, he was close to getting into that top 8, and he was, or as a top 4. Did it cut top 4 or top 8? Anyway,
it was like top 2 had to get out of groups, and he was third.
Gotcha. Yeah, he was so close, and even he said that it was just an excellently run tournament. So congratulations, Solem. I'm hoping we're gonna try to get him on soon, because this was just a huge undertaking. Like, we have an idea of how hard it is to run sanctioned events, especially Nate. Like, we did the Into the Wild League about 2 years ago now, and Nate shouldered a lot of that on his back, and that was really difficult. And I can only imagine, if the stakes were so high, how much more furious players could get. And I'm sure there was a lot of sore sports in the EU one, and you can't really blame them, because if you promise a tournament and it doesn't work out, like, people are going to be upset. And the thing is these guys rocked it and brought it back tenfold. So just great job, yeah. Like, that is exactly what the community needs, is more competitive events, and that was just hands down went out without a hitch the second time around. So hopefully they continue doing that again in the future, and someone else might see the success they had and give it a shot, because it was just very cool to see.
Maybe that someone can be Blizzard. Maybe.
Yeah, actually,
see if we'll get
since you bring it up, what are your thoughts on the, like, no Wild Open, or them just not saying anything about the Wild Open and, like, dodging all of those questions?
Oh, I was so pissed. I was like one of the people nagging them. Like, every month, I was like, you know what? If I just don't get an answer, I'm gonna keep DMing and keep getting into a combo. Ixar did message me, and he told me, like, who to get in contact with. And then once I messaged them, they didn't have anything to say either. Like, I just got left on red. It was brutal. Like, I mean, it was terrible. But yeah, I really hope that they bring it back at some point. I know that they're not really looking to do any, like, they're kind of out of the tournament scene, right? Like, even GM is sort of just like an invitational thing that they're just trying to, get the most viewership they can with sort of the minimum investment in terms of, like, resources. And, like, more power to them. They can do whatever. Like, it's not really, they're not to blame. I do think it's a bummer, though, and I hope that they maybe change their mind about it, because, as you saw from Solem's event, there's a lot of interest, there's a lot of fun with it. And yeah, I think it would be really great if they decide to do another one.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you, Corbett. So you might not know this, but I am actually the sole reason that Quest Mage got nerfed. I wrote
the parody. I saw this. I loved it.
So to this day, that's the most viewed thing that we've done so far this time around. I think we hit like 11, and it's only like 1,100, but we're not that big of a deal yet. We will be in a year. So if you're listening to this from a year from now, I know you're confused. Like, oh, well, this is the giantest podcast in the whole world. They just got $100 million Spotify deal with Joe Rogan, but anyway. Red Bull, yeah, they have wings now. Red Bull gave them to them. But what I'm going to do, what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to wait a bit, because it's not time for the Wild Open right now. But I think we're going to work on a Dear XR Part 2. and we're gonna try to get tournament mode going. And except this time, XR's response will probably be, "Hey, message this guy. I'm gonna have to write a whole another song. It's gonna be a whole thing." But we're gonna do our best to get the Wild Open back. Maybe it is gonna take a coordinated effort of everyone complaining. The more voices, the more chances we have of getting it back. So we'll see.
We may have to do our own Wild Open.
Yeah, I'm just really excited for the Craig versus Ixar rap beef. I want to see some diss tracks from both ends. I want to see Ixar take Broad's spot, maybe get a cameo from Broad. I need this drama in my life. I need this.
That would be so great.
That would be so great.
I am happy to say that, like, now at this point, I could leave Hearthstone happy because in the modern era, I got Ixar to respond to a song that I wrote for him, and back in the day when we were doing Into the Wild, Ben Brode commented on my goodbye song to him. So at this point, I can just die happy, you know. Well, sorry, let's not go that far. I can uninstall happy. You know?
Oh God.
But yeah, man, like Corbett, this has been just wonderful having you here because it's not every day that we get to talk to a world champion, and today is that day. It's unfortunate that there's not an easy way to have the EU versus NA play against each other. You know, like we don't like if only Blizzard was doing this kind of tournament, maybe they could give a collection, but. That would be a cool thing to do, just to prove to everyone once and for all that America is the winners by getting the Australian to win with the Canadian in his corner. And then we'll all yell USA. Like I wish I was from there because I would love to chant USA. It seems so fun.
I don't know. I'm a little embarrassed of my country at the moment. So.
Yeah, maybe not the right moment for the chanting. Sure.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I was chanting USA.
Oh God.
Anyway, so I'm thinking we're pretty much at that point where we can start wrapping this up and putting a little bow on it and saying goodbye to our friend Corbett until the day that we have him on when Blizzard hosts the giant tournament and Corbett takes that one home as well. That's when we'll make sure to have him back. So Corbett, tell us, where are the places that we can find you and that our listeners can go out to see more of you and your hottest man in wild face?
You guys can check me out on Twitter and Twitch at Corbett Games. Also have a YouTube channel that I'm desperately trying to motivate myself to actually post content on. So that's all at Corbett Games, streaming basically every night. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for having me on the show. This was really fun. So yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a goal of ours to get you on as well. So it's very exciting and thrilled to have you on for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And Corbett, I'm on your YouTube video, here, and you're absolutely right. You do need to post some stuff. From this, I can't tell that you're. Yeah, there's definitely you've never posted Hearthstone, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Well, hopefully soon, because I would love to see some more of your content. You got to. I need you to understand this, Corbett. You can make money off of Hearthstone with your skill level. There's no way that you wouldn't, right? People are gonna come to you because one, you're attractive. That's something you need when it comes to this. Trust me, I know, because I'd be famous right now. You're attractive. Two, you're incredible at Hearthstone, and three, you're funny. You're fun to talk to, easy to talk to. If you just put a little bit of time into YouTube, I guarantee you'll make a little bit of money. And if you put a lot of time into it, I think it'll be well worth your efforts. So take that for what you will, but I would strongly recommend you get yourself out there with some content because you have everything that you need. Me, I don't have the skill as a Hearthstone player to quite get to where you could get. So I would take advantage of that while you can, right? So before you get washed up and start losing these tournaments.
Jeez, wow. There's some motivation. That's like a college commencement speech right there.
No, but I'm half joking, but obviously I really do think that people would benefit from your content, and that in turn you would benefit as well. So I hope that you do try to get some Hearthstone content out there for us, Corbett. Anyway, yeah, sure. I don't want to be your life coach here. I'm Craig. Craig of Canada. You can follow me on Twitter. That's CRAIG of Canada. If you can't spell Canada, you can't follow me. Nate, let them know where you are, but no one cares. So of course, let them know where to find the show.
So you can find me on Twitter at NateWolfTCG. It's NateWolfeTCG. More importantly, you can find the show at Born to Be Wild HS on Twitter. You can email the show at borntobewildhs@gmail.com. Website is in the works. I keep meaning to work on it, and it's there, but I gotta get it up and running. All of our content is on YouTube, and that's youtube.com/Born to Be Wild podcast. So yes, please, and if you'd like to come on the show, you've got guests that you would like to see on the show, please reach out to us. We like hearing from you. So would love to have some people reach out.
Awesome. So we're just about ready to go, but I can't let you off the hook that easy, Nate. Could you play the music? And now, unrelated advice. Nate with Nate Wolf. I come to you asking for some advice. I recently found myself feeling a little unmotivated during these troubling times, and with the coronavirus here and me being out of work, I have no excuse that I'm still overweight. So Nate, tell me, what's something that you do to get yourself off the couch on those days where there's nothing really forcing you to? What gets you motivated?
Well, I'm still working and I need the paycheck, so there's that. But I tell you, I'm kind of not motivated. I was kind of been in a funk the last couple of days, and I think it was just the Corona blues. Got home from work, had a glass of wine, took a hot bath, and took like a 3-hour nap. So that's what motivates me right now.
All right, Nate, you weren't helpful there at all. Corbett, what about you? What do you do when you need to motivate yourself?
I talk to you, Craig. I get that speech to get me pumped about the YouTube.
Well, wiser words have never been spoken than you heard that on Born to Be Wild. See ya.